explaining to us you're now kind of fully over the travel and into the full training week.
Yeah, planes, trains and automobiles to get us here, but we've all arrived safe and sound. So we made the decision to come out here early so we can get used to the acclimatise or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it's been good. Everything's great. You know, the weather's a little bit different than what it was in Dublin when we left, and the hotel is literally a stone's throw away from where we would be playing the game on Saturday, and we're training in a school just around the corner. So everything's good.
How many players did you bring with you this week?
I think all told there's 30 players.
30 players, thanks. One of those, obviously, we saw in the injury update earlier on, Gary Ringrose is training fully. I imagine he must be like a coiled spring waiting to get back out there. It's been kind of such a stop-start campaign for him.
Yeah, exactly. And being one of the co-captains as well, it's pretty frustrating, you know, so you can understand that. And obviously we're coming to the end of the season as well. You know, he's put some unbelievable work in to get him back to where he is currently. So, as you say, he's training back fully. So it's great to see him out there.
And Jack Conan then as well, we see is fully fit and raring to go as well, particularly after the impact he had in that first half against Connacht. He obviously would have been very, very disappointed to miss out last week.
Yes, yeah. It was nothing major. It was just one of those small little niggly injuries that kept him off the team. But again, you know, like Jack, he brings a lot of impact off the bench. But he started against Connacht, and you know, right from the word go, he was very effective, carrying off the base of the scrum, being dynamic. And he's developing his line-out game as well. So, it's good to have Jack back as well.
These big away semi-finals, it's not something Leinster have actually really had to deal with a lot in the last few years. How well do you think this team will respond to being outside of their comfort zone in a situation like this?
Well, we'll see we'll find out on Saturday, but it's obviously a different route that we've taken this season. We failed to reach the final, on previous occasions. So maybe it's good, you know, that we come into a tough place against an informed team, full of internationals. So we need to be at our best, and sometimes you can react positively to having to do things the hard way, and hopefully we'll get a good reaction out of the players on Saturday.
And just final question for me, when yourselves and the Bulls met at the RDS a few months ago, particularly early on in the game, they were causing you a lot of problems around the scrum. When you look back at that game, Robin, like what were the things they were doing to you to make you uncomfortable, and particularly in that first half?
I'm not going to take anything away from the Bulls, but I felt that we had to work to earn our stripes in that game. We had to work very hard to make the referee see things our way. So it'll be the same case on Saturday. You put a lot of good work in during the week. You put a lot of detail into your game, and I was talking to a good friend of mine, and he said, irrespective of all the preparatory work you do and the detail you go into, when you step on that field, sometimes it's like stepping into a casino because you lose a lot of control. And it was an interesting way to look at it, really. And we've just got to paint those positive pictures. So we'll hopefully have a good relationship with Sam Grove-White, who's refereeing on Saturday, and it's tough. Do you know what I mean? It'll be even harder for us on Saturday because we'll be facing a very hostile and passionate Bulls supporters, and it'll be a full house, I think. So it'll make our work a little bit harder. But like I said, there's maybe a little chink definitely in my head anyway, where there's nothing wrong with doing things the hard way around sometimes, and going to places where you're underdogs and proving everybody wrong.
All right. Well, thanks for that, and very best of luck on Saturday.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Neil. Aisling, you can jump in.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Robin. Aisling here from Off the Ball. How's things?
Hi, Ashley. Good, thank you.
Good. Just when you mentioned there's no problem with doing it maybe the hard way. Have you had experiences that you sort of lean on that from before?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you caught me off guard there. Now I'm trying to think of one, but I can't. It won't come to mind. But no, like there's an element of, like I said, that there is an element of, in the back of your mind sometimes to do things the hard way. Sometimes you've just got to go and chase it, and just embrace the fact that all these obstacles are being put in your way, and you've just got to overcome so much, So it certainly focuses your mind and makes you a little bit more determined to prove your doubters wrong. And whatever motivates you as an individual or as a team or whatever, sometimes there's a chip on the shoulder, and that can drive you a long way, in a competition or in a game or whatever, just to try and prove the doubters wrong. So, there's going to be questions asked of us ahead of the game on Saturday, obviously. The Bulls are going to be favourites. They've got an unbelievably proud record of winning knockout games at home here. And they're in a rich vein of form. And like I said earlier, they've got 20 internationals in their squad. So for us to come to South Africa, overcoming a few travel obstacles, albeit everything went smooth, traveling wise, So there's, but yeah, it'll be tough on Saturday. So it'll be good to see how we react to that.
So you feel that the Bulls are favourites going into the game?
Well, I would put them down as favourites, yeah. When you consider the number of internationals in their squad, the proud home record that they've got. They've obviously had a better preparation time than we have with regards to playing a home game after playing Benetton last week. So, I think the odds are stacked in their favour.
I was just speaking to Keane there, just about the disappointment of the Champions Cup and how much now the URC winning that becomes for this group. Have you seen that maybe in the last week or two with the side that they really want to win silverware, and this URC means a lot?
Well, it does mean a lot. I mean, the quality of the competition has risen. In fairness to the South African teams, they've risen the bar. There's if you look at the top, say, 6 teams in the league, for instance, anybody on their day can beat anybody else. You saw with the quarterfinals, they were tight games and not a lot of room for error. And if anybody did make a mistake, they paid for it. So it's a quality competition, and the Bulls, in fairness to them, they made it through to the quarterfinals. They lost to Saints away. So they're a pedigree team. Like I say, they're full of internationals. They've got international experience, and that's going to help them on Saturday, because it's going to be a test match on Saturday. The level of intensity, etc. So it really is going to be a test of us, and we'll embrace it and hopefully give it a good crack on Saturday.
Thanks, Robin. Very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aisling. Does anyone from South Africa want to jump in? I saw no one had their hands up, but if anyone does want to jump in, Jan, jump in again. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Robin. Sorry, just a bit more clarity on the injury update you gave right in the beginning. How important is the return of players like that, given the venue and the quality of the position? How important is that experience?
Yeah, it's invaluable. You get to this stage of the season and you want as many fit players as you can to select from, not only for the games on the Saturday, but the quality of your training in the week in order to prepare the team as well as possible. So we're under no illusion. We're stepping into very hostile environment, very proud team with a proud record in knockout rugby at home here. So to have players of the calibre of those players coming back, that's invaluable, really. So it gives us a little bit more strength in depth, definitely.